वेलकम टू बिटूनेट कोड चैनल। गाइस, आज के सेशन में हम डिस्कस करने जा रहे हैं एक्सेल फंक्शंस। The functions and formulas that we'll be discussing, they are the most common formulas that are used on daily basis in Excel. तो जो normally हम functions use करते हैं, sum, count, average, max, min, right, वो तो हमें already पता ही होते हैं, but the most common functions that are used on almost a daily basis वो हम आज के सेशन में डिस्कस करने जा रहे हैं. So let's start them one by one, and let me put some data and start one of them. So first of all, we'll see sum function, right? If we want to add a few numbers and I give the location of these numbers, and this way I can use sum function, right? So let's discuss one more function, and let me label these functions, right, that we'll be using. So if we use average function, so we can use average is equal to average, then give the location, and this is the average of all these numbers. Let's change the formatting and make it only two decimal places. So now let's discuss the next function, is equal to count function, right? It counts the number of cells in a range that contains numbers, right? तो चलिए काउंट कर लेते हैं. We give the range B2 to B8, and it says that this is the number of values that are and that this uh, formula has counted, right? So this is the count function we can use to count the number of entries, number of cells. Okay, so let's discuss next function. Let me prepare some raw data for that, and let's prepare count A. Count A counts the number of cells in a range that are not empty, right? So here in this range we have some empty values as well. So let's see what result do we get. So I'm giving range as C2 to C11. So it gives the result as C6, right? So this means that it has only six non-empty values, and rest are empty, so it is not counting empty values and non-empty cells. This formula tells us that is count A. So similarly, just like count A, we have count blank also, that counts only blank values. So let's try that count blank formula. So it will count blank cells. So count blank is equal to, and give the range. So let's see what result does it give. So it gives 5. So this means from this range C2 to C12 we have 5 blank cells that don't have any data. So if we have large number of data, very big data set, right, we can take help of these formulas to get the results very quickly, instead of manually counting everything. That may not be possible. Let's check first next formula, max formula. So max tell you the maximum number, biggest value, right? So biggest value from this range is 26. So similarly we have min function. Min function tells us which is the minimum or shortest value, smallest value. So minimum value is 1. Now let's go to next function. Uh, we will be using these text functions. We'll be discussing all these today, right? So let's see what this BAHTTEXT bar text. This is a formula that converts number to some Thailand language text, right? This is not normally used so much because this is a language specific function, but for your convenience we can still discuss once. So let's give this formula is equal to BEH text. It converts number to the Thailand language text, right? So I'm giving this number one location, and it converted into some Thailand language, right? So we will won't be discussing this in much details, because I will have to make changes in my font, and I don't want to install any Thailand language font. So let's go to next function. Next function is a char function. So char function returns the character specified by code number from the character set of your computer. Guys, so this converts number to its ASCII value that is understood by the computer, right? Every character, every value on the keyboard that we enter by keyboard has a ASCII value uh, assigned, right? So C has ASCII value 67. So if we change this character code to any other value, so this char function will return the ASCII value of that character. So if we give 65, so 65 is the ASCII value for uppercase A. So if we make it to 110, it will change to lower value, lowercase n. So lowercase n has ASCII value 1110. So this way we can make use of a char function or a char function. Next is a clean function. So clean function removes all non-printable characters from text. So this can be used to remove any non-printable characters like spaces, tabs, or enters or paragraphs we have given, right? So, for example, I paste any kind of text here, right? If I give the location of this cell, right? All these values can be printed, so it will show them as it is. But if I include some spaces in this text, right, it will remove those spaces. So let's see how we can take help of clean function. What I'm doing, I am pressing F2 and giving some space in this value. Let's give a few lot of spaces and see how clean function can help us. So clean function removed all the text characters and it showed us the value to add uh, single quote q, right? So it removed the character spaces because these are the non printable, so spaces cannot be printed. So clean is useful in removing those non printable values like spaces and tabs. Similarly, we have trim function. With the help of a trim function we can remove unwanted spaces. Let's say I type this sentence, my name is John, and I have put multiple spaces among the words, right? So ideally between the words there should be only one space. Okay, so but if we have a more number of spaces, then we can use trim function to clean unnecessary spaces from the text string. So let's try. Let me give the address of this cell where my name is John is situated in D19, trim D19. So you can see that it removed all the unnecessary spaces, excluding one space after each word. So this way we can clean the raw or unformatted data with the help of trim function. Now next go to next function. Just like char function, we have a concatenate function. Okay, so concatenate function is used to join two text strings, right? If we although we can, if we have a number, right, we can use plus sign, but if we have text, okay, we can use concatenate function to join those text strings. So let's try this also. uh, is equal to for example, let's demonstrate if I add plus for all these text strings, right? Excel cannot determine what to do, how to add text values, right? So if we want to join these text strings, we will have to use concatenate function. So for example, if I do the same operation for numbers, Excel can count them because Excel know that this is a number and operations possible on number are uh, addition. So if I want to join text strings, so we have to use concatenate. this way. So concatenate or so, so as you can see that it has joined all the cells and there is no space in between. If we want to give space, then we have to use a different method. We will discuss that in future. That's all about a concatenate function, right? And let's go to next function. And let's see if we want to concatenate a text function to a other number function to a number to number, right? So it is instead of joining, it simply wrote the number next to other. So if I concatenate 7 and 5, it will join them and it will write them together instead of joining. So this is the difference between concatenate and addition, right? So after doing concatenation of 7 and 5, it joins them as 75. Now let's see dollar function. Dollar function is used to convert any number to a currency symbol, right? So dollar symbol will be added here, and this is the decimals we want to see after dot. So we want to see two decimals, so it converted it to rupee because I have a currency symbol, currency selected on my machine as rupee. Okay, I have selected Indian currency instead of selecting dollars or United States. So that's why it is showing a rupee symbol. Okay, if we want, we can change the currency from accounting formats uh, in currency or in accounting. Okay, but since I'm using rupee for currency, that's why it converted dollar function converted the dollar to my currency, that is rupee. Okay, so we can always change it from here also. If I go to format cells, and from uh, this location we can always change the currency to any country location. If I want, I can select pound, yen, euro, right? Any country currency we can select. I have selected rupee from this place. uh, so depending upon your currently country location, you can select your relevant currency, right? So dollar function will give you currency in your format in which you want to see your currency. We have currencies for all the countries available here, right? So now let's go to next function is exact. So exact tells us the whether two values are exactly equal to each other. So it checks the two text strings and shows whether the values are equal, and if they are equal it returns true, otherwise it will returns false. And guys, exact is a case sensitive function. So let's give it any raw data uh, input to this function, and try to find out whether these two values are exactly equal or not. So because this is case sensitive, so I am using uppercase Peter and then a lowercase Peter, P in uppercase and P in lowercase. So let's compare these two cells and see what exact function returns us. So it returns false. That means uppercase P is not equal to lowercase Peter, P with lowercase p, right? So this is the way we can try to match two different kind of data that look same but exactly not same. Now let's see a find function. It returns the starting position of one text string within another text string. And guys, find is case sensitive. So this is the difference between find and search. So we will discuss search also. So let's try to find something in this Microsoft cell, right? So give it the text what we find want to find. We want to find O, right? Let's give it because O is a text, so we have to give text in double quotes always. Now, which text, in which text we have to find? So let's give the location within text E20, and start number is optional. We may or we may not give. So otherwise, if we don't give, then it will start from first string. So it gave the result as O is located as number 5. character 5, fifth character, 1 2 3 4 5, right? So find returns us the location of O when it first finds O character in the string or in the word, right? So O is the location, O is at the location 5. And if we want to, we can also give the starting number if we want to start the counting from 6, because O is at the fifth location. So now what happens if we give the starting number as 6? Now O will start counting from S, right? Because first O is at fifth number, second O is at seventh number. So we are counting from 6. So it gave us the location of the second O. Okay, if we start counting from 6, so second O is at the seventh location number. Second O is the seventh character. Now let's check the next command, next function. It is going to be fixed, right? Fixed returns a number to a specified number of decimals and returns the result as a text with or without commas. So this is the every function gives the details what that function does. So let's try this function also. Before that, let me prepare some raw data that should be given as input. I'm giving a very big number that has a lot of digits after decimal. So I give the input as C24. Now let's see how many decimal places I want to see after dot. So I want to see two decimal places. Okay, now third argument is do you want to use commas or prevent commas? So let's keep it true. I don't want to see commas. Okay, so let's keep it to default, and let's see what this returned. It returned 265.36. Okay, so it is returning fixed value of two places after decimal. And let's see, I want to also add comma, so I am increasing the value before decimal point. So and now I am changing it to false. Do not prevent commas. Let's see if it adds commas. So it added commas this way, right? 65 comma 65 35 comma 265. So this way we can use fixed function. Now let's try to use a left function. So this function is used to extract the character from text string. This is very useful in extracting names and first names, second names, last names, etc. in those kind of data types. So now let's we want to uh, extract something from Microsoft. Okay, so I give the location of the cell E20 and number of characters I want to extract. So I gave 2. So it extracted two characters starting from the first. So it extracted mi from E20, right? So this is the use of left function. And guys, left function always extract from the left. Similarly, uh, we have a mid and right functions that extract characters from middle and from right. So let's try mid function. It returns the character from middle of text string given a starting point and length. Okay, let's give it any text and start number. From where do we want to start the extraction? Let's give it a 1, that is normally default. And how many characters I want to extract? So let's say I want to extract 3 characters. So it gave the result as JOH. Right, now let's suppose I want to extract middle name Peter. Okay, so I will give the I will change the starting the location. For example, I will Peter is at 1 2 3 4 5 6 number. So I can give 6 here, and I tell how many characters it should extract. Then if I select 3, then it extracted 3 characters from middle. Okay, because I have uh, already told him to how from where to start the extraction. Similarly, we have write function that starts extraction of characters from the write. Okay, let's use a write and give the same Microsoft, and how many characters I want to extract. Let's give it 4, and it gives the result as soft, right? So from right hand side it extracted 4 characters. So this is use of write function. So left, mid, and right. These are useful if we have a raw or unformatted data and we want to convert that separate first names, middle names, or last names. So we can use these functions to extract names kind of data or similar, right? And next function is length function that returns the number of characters in a text string. For example, I want to say how many characters are there in this string. So it returns 19 characters. Okay, so if I count something like D, let's take John Peter Smith. So if there are spaces in names, right? So it will count spaces also. We can count here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15, right? So length character always count spaces also if they are existing within the words. Okay, so length B20 is 19, and John Peter Smith has 16 characters. Now let's use a lower function. It converts any character to lower case, right? For example, I use any text that is in uppercase. I want to convert it into lowercase. So I can take help of a lower function. It will convert the case of any text to lowercase. So similarly, just like lowercase, we have upper function that converts the case of any text to uppercase. So if we do upper here, and it converted all the case of cell into uppercase. So Microsoft is in uppercase now. Now let's check the next function. Next function that we are going to discuss will be number value. Okay, so let's see what this number value does. If we type is equal to number value, it will give us the description what this function does. So before that I have to take some raw data that can help us to differentiate what this function does and how it helps us. So let us take two values. One I have stored as text and other is number, right? If I ignore the error, then it is difficult for us to differentiate whether this uh, data is a text or number. So let me see if we can do any what I'm doing. Let's type is equal to number value. It converts. Let's give it location of first use text, right? Now this is not a number according to Excel. This is a text because it is left aligned. So we want to see this as a number. So number value will convert this text into a number, right? It can extract the value of that text, right? If I ignore the error, it is difficult for us to differentiate whether 19 is a text or number. So sometimes we change the alignment also. That is always not recommended to change the alignment of numbers because numbers are right aligned and text is left aligned. So if somebody has changed the alignment and has ignored the errors, it is difficult for us to find from a very huge list of data that whether any specific data is number or text. Okay. Although if we want to perform any uh, text addition or subtraction on text, okay, that is not possible. So we can take help of number value function. It extracts the value of that text. Now let's go to proper. Proper converts the case of first letter of any word to uppercase. So that's why it is called the proper case. Okay, because this way any text should be formatted. So let's give the location. I love Microsoft Excel proper. Let's take any proper word. The first letter in each word to a uppercase and all other letters to lowercase. Right. Let's take this love. Okay. So this will be converted. First letter has been converted to uppercase L. So if I change the case of all the words of John Peter Smith, okay, and I use proper function, so let's see if it converts the case to upper. Yeah, it converts first letter of all the words to uppercase. So this is the use of proper function. So these are the functions that can be very helpful. Let's go to replace. It replaces part of text string with the different text. So let's take my name is John. This is the old text. Okay, and let's give the next argument start number. I will start from 1, and now we have to decide how many numbers of characters we want to replace, right? So let's give it any number. Let's keep it 12, right? We 12th character I want to replace, and 12th character should be replaced as P. Okay, so it converted John J to Peter. Okay, so I want to convert only one letter, so I will do it convert J to P. Okay, now let's see. So it converted John to Pon, P-O-H-N. So this way we can replace any letter in a string with the new letter. We have to give the starting address and the address location of that character. So you can check the format of this formula. So let me label this. This is the replace function. Now let's go to next function, a repetition function. So it repeats the given text given number of times, right? Use rep to fill a cell with number of instances of a text string. So let's say I take a soft and I want to repeat it the number of times, two or three or four. Okay, let's say three times I want to repeat this soft function. So let's enter. It repeated soft three times because I gave the argument as 3, soft comma 3, so it repeats soft three times. So this is the use of repetition function. Now let's go to next. Right, we have already discussed. Now let's check search function. It returns the number of characters at which a specific character or text string is first found, reading left to right. It's not case sensitive. right? Guys, a find function was a case sensitive, whereas a search is not case sensitive. So if you give any character, it will give you the occurrence of that character irrespective of the case, right? Whether it is upper case or lower case. So let's try to find O or E in Excel. Okay, let's give the location because E is a text, so we always have to give a text in double quotes. So location F20 and find the first occurrence of E. So the first occurrence of E in F20 is at number 1. Okay. So if I want to find capital E, okay, that is case sensitive. So for that we have to use find function because find is case sensitive and search is not case sensitive. If I want to find upper E with the help of search, then also it will give us the first location because it doesn't look at the case number. So if I again try to find uh, small e, lowercase e, we can see that this is not case sensitive. So let's see uh, if we are able to find e. E is 2 times, right? So let's give the location uh, within text. So E is at number 1. Okay, if we want to find the case sensitivity, then we have to use find function. Okay, so if for find, if I want to find uppercase E, then it will give us the location in F. Here I have given the 6. Let's remove that. And if uppercase E is at number 1 position. Okay, now, because find is case sensitive, I can always also select smaller case e, and it gives us the location of smaller case e that is at 4th number. So this is the difference between find and search. Find is case sensitive function and search is not case sensitive. Next function is substitute. Unless substitute replaces existing text with a new text in a string. Okay, let's give the text. Let's use soft B27 and what I want to substitute, so the old text, and because it is text, let's put it in double quotes. Old text that I want to substitute, I want to substitute T with some new text. I want to substitute T with L. Let's see what result we get. So it substituted T with soft L. For clarity, let's change it to A. I substituted T with A. So soft is changed to sofa. Okay, we have because I have used substitute function to convert T to A. Now next function we are going to use is T. T function checks whether value is text and returns the text if it is, and returns double quotes if it is a empty text. So let's give it a location of 1. So because 1 is not text, so that's why it returned empty, right? It returned blank. So let me give the location of any. Let's convert 12 to text and see what T function returns. Is it able to recognize text and numbers? Okay, it returned nothing for number. And let's see if it recognize D37, that is in text. So it recognized that 12 here is not number, it is text. So this way we can take help of T function to recognize, to find out whether the value is in text format or it is in number format. If it is in number format, it will not return anything. If it is text format, it will return the text. Nothing for number format, text for text format. This is the use of T function. Now let's say use text function. It converts any value uh, we can extract any kind of text and decide its format. Let me take any raw value. Let's do one thing. Here I am taking some date. I'm putting today's date. I gave the command control colon to enter today's date. So today is 19/6/2021. So now I want to extract some data from this value. So write text function and give the location of cell and format I want to see. Let's use, I want to extract the date from this text, right? So I will use in double quotes I can use a DDDD. Okay, so let's see if I use uh, comma double quotes D D D. Okay, so it returned a Saturday, SAT Saturday. So if I type DD four times, it will return the complete name of the day, Saturday. Okay, now let's try to extract a month. Give the same location, and this time I use single M. It returns 6 because this is the sixth month. Okay, double M 06 and triple M JUN, and if I enter M four times, it returns the complete name of month. Similarly, I can extract year from the date. So here I am converting a date into text. I am converting year, extracting year. So Y for 21. So Y and Y same. So let's use Y four times. So it returned 2021. So this way we can extract text from a date with the help of text function. So and depending upon our requirement and formatting, we can select how we want to display that text. So let's see next function value. It converts a text string that represents a number to a string. Let's see value of any number. Let's take any value. Let's take 12. This is a text, right? So it extracted the value. It shows us that the value of this text is 12. Actually, it is not a number, it is a text. So it calculated the value of this text as a number. So value function can also be useful like T function. It is also doing the same task. So guys, these are all the functions that will be very helpful for you if you are into any kind of data analysis. Let's see. I want to I convert all these numbers to text form, or I change the alignment, and I put all these numbers over here, and I am converting all this data into text. Okay, right now Excel is giving me idea that this is not a number, this is a text. Okay, I use Control E to flash fill. Okay, and I also somebody selected ignore error, right? So now it is difficult for a new person to find out whether this data that has been given to him is a text or a number. Okay, and somebody has also changed the alignment. Now both these values are looking same, but they are not same. One is text and one is number. So if I find the value of I give here for exact correct number, value will give us the return as same. Okay, but for the text, it can extract the value of the text. So for numbers, value function is not useful because it converts the value of a text if any number has been converted to text. So these are few more functions that we'll be discussing in the coming session. All these date and time functions also will discuss, and these lookup functions also will discuss in future. So we are going to have sessions on all these functions.